There's a system so pervasive, so insidious, that it shapes your mind, your dreams, and your potential before you even realize it's happening. I'm talking about modern education, a machine designed, whether intentionally or not, to break you. It's not just about learning facts or passing tests. It's about molding you into a predictable, controllable version of yourself, stripping away your curiosity, your creativity, and your connection to something greater. Imagine a process that begins in childhood, where your natural wonder is replaced with rigid schedules, standardized metrics, and the constant pressure to conform. By the time you graduate, you're not free. You're fragmented, doubting your own power and believing that success means fitting into a system that never truly valued you. But what no one tells you is that this breaking isn't inevitable. Your mind, your spirit, your innate potential are not meant to be crushed. They are entangled with a deeper truth, a universal force of creation and individuality that modern education seeks to suppress. You are connected to ideas, to innovations, to a collective consciousness that thrives on freedom and imagination, far beyond what any curriculum can contain. Historians and psychologists like John Taylor Gatto have called this process a form of social engineering. They argue that schools were never just about education. They were designed to produce obedient workers, not free thinkers. And today, we see the results. A generation taught to fear failure, to prioritize grades over passion, and to see themselves as cogs in a machine rather than creators of their own destiny. Yet, the most surprising part is this. When you begin to see through this illusion, when you trust the invisible spark within you, something extraordinary starts to happen. Most people live as if they are defined by their report cards, their degrees, or their job titles, believing that their worth depends solely on external validation and linear progress. But when you trust your inner voice, the one that questions, that dreams, that resists conformity, something begins to radically change. Trust is the first step to reclaiming your power, to co-creating a life that aligns with your true nature. When you place faith in this subtle intuition, your ideas spread, inspire others, and return amplified. Contrary to what we were taught, it is not blind obedience that brings fulfillment. It is conscious rebellion. When you release the fear of not fitting in, the need to follow the script, and simply maintain the frequency of authenticity, you become a living beacon for infinite possibilities. In 1964, psychologist Paul Goodman published Compulsory Miseducation, arguing that schools systematically disconnect students from their natural learning processes, turning education into a tool for conformity rather than growth. He saw what many still deny, that the system is designed to break your spirit, to make you compliant, to ensure you never challenge the status quo. Decades later, in 2006, Sir Ken Robinson, a renowned education reformer, delivered a TED Talk that went viral, exposing how modern schooling kills creativity. He argued that children arrive at school as unique individuals, bursting with imagination, but leave as standardized products, their talents often buried under the weight of grades and expectations. No matter how brilliant you are, the system treats you as a number, a statistic, connected only to the machinery of productivity, not to your own potential. Now, pause for a moment and imagine. If schools can do this to your mind, what are they doing to your soul? You are not a machine. Your thoughts, your dreams, your unique gifts are also entangled with a field of possibility that permeates all creation. What you suppress returns as frustration. What you nurture shapes a new reality. And the most impactful part is that this force does not require a diploma or approval to act. It requires courage and self-belief. Have you ever felt a passion so strong that it seemed impossible to ignore? Have you ever had the sense that the lessons you were forced to learn were irrelevant to the life you wanted to live? Modern psychology now confirms what artists, rebels, and visionaries have always known. Your heart, your intuition, is a direct bridge to your true potential. Research from institutions like the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence reveals that creativity and emotional resilience, the very qualities modern education often stifles, are the keys to innovation and well-being. But more than that, the energy you generate when you resist, when you dream, when you create, communicates with the world around you, influencing and being influenced by the collective field of human potential. When you cultivate courage, curiosity, and connection, feelings that schools often discourage, your inner field expands and synchronizes with the subtlest frequencies of possibility. It's as if you turn on a powerful transmitter, capable of entangling your consciousness with higher realities. Educators like Maria Montessori and Paulo Freire have shown that learning thrives in environments of freedom and respect, not control and coercion. That is, by trusting your own path, you become an active part of a great universal awakening. But be careful. This connection does not happen through rote memorization or competitive striving. It happens in the silence of self-reflection, in the purity of your vision, in the moment you truly feel that you are already whole, already enough, regardless of what the system says. In 2018, a study by the OECD revealed that students in highly test-driven systems, like those in many Western countries, report higher levels of stress, anxiety, and disengagement than those in more holistic educational models. The data showed that the pressure to perform, to meet arbitrary benchmarks, often leaves students feeling broken, disconnected, and powerless. This test proved that modern education is not just failing to prepare us for life, it's actively undermining our ability to thrive. And it didn't stop there. Research from the Harvard Graduate School of Education demonstrated that students who are encouraged to pursue their passions and think critically, rather than memorize facts, show higher levels of motivation, creativity, and long-term success. Do you understand what this means? Your mind, if aligned with your heart's desires, is capable of breaking free from the constraints imposed on it. You influence your reality not symbolically, but in a real and measurable way. This explains why people who drop out, who homeschool, who pursue alternative paths, often find profound success and fulfillment. They access, even unconsciously, a field of infinite possibility that connects their unique gifts to the world's needs. Since we are born, we are trained to believe that we are defined by our performance, separated from our true selves, from others, and even from the joy of learning itself. This perception creates a collective illusion of limitation, where each person fights alone for approval, achievement, and survival. But critical pedagogy, along with visionary thinkers like Ivan Illich, reveals a very different truth. You were never meant to be broken. Your potential is a vast sea of energy where everything is interconnected. There is no student and system at the fundamental level of human experience. There is only one great, living, pulsating network of which each mind, each dream, each act of resistance is a unique expression. Neuroscience pioneer Dr. Gabor Mate argues that our educational systems often traumatize children, teaching them to suppress their emotions and conform at the expense of their mental health. This means that your fears, your doubts, your sense of inadequacy are in constant communication with the culture around you. The problem is that by believing in the illusion of failure, you cut off this communication. You feel alone, disconnected, and powerless. When, in fact, you are an essential part of a vast and intelligent web of human potential. And here's the most powerful detail. By remembering, by feeling that you are enough, you reactivate this invisible network. You begin to receive inspiration, opportunities, synchronicities, as if the universe started whispering directly to you. But how can you know if this awakening is already active in your life? Have you ever felt an urge to question the rules? To follow a passion that school dismissed as impractical? And thanks to that, something amazing happened. These are not mere accidents. They are clear signs that your true self is beginning to break free. The first sign that you are accessing this field is synchronicity. Carl Jung described synchronicity as meaningful coincidence that cannot be explained merely by logic or traditional causality. In fact, they are vibrational responses from the universe to your inner state. When your mind and heart align, when you emit authentic intentions backed by courage, the field responds by organizing events, people, and opportunities that seem miraculous but are, in reality, highly natural. You stop forcing compliance and start dancing with your destiny. Doors open, ideas flow, and you deeply feel that you are no longer bound by the system's limits. And the more you recognize these synchronicities and give thanks for them, the stronger your connection becomes. Gratitude acts as an amplifier, strengthening your entanglement with the life you were meant to live. That's why we created the Reclaim Your Mind Challenge, where you will adopt daily practices to reprogram your thinking, align your energy, and attract the freedom you so deeply desire. Check out the link in the first pinned comment. Even though we are naturally connected to our potential, most people never consciously activate this connection. And the reason is simple, but devastating: fear and doubt. Fear blocks the flow of inspiration. It closes your vibrational field, aligning you with low frequencies that resonate with conformity, scarcity, and limitation. Doubt, in turn, acts as a silent saboteur. The moment you start questioning whether you're smart enough, talented enough, or worthy enough, you cut the invisible thread linking your vision to the field of infinite possibility. Where you place your attention, you place your energy. If your attention is on failure, fear, or conformity, that is exactly what you amplify. You become a magnet for what you dread instead of what you desire, and the cycle repeats. You try to change your reality through endless studying, networking, or chasing credentials, disconnected from the invisible power that could transform everything. The result: burnout, disillusionment, a sense that life is a constant struggle. But know this: this trap exists only because you were trained to live separated from your true nature. The good news is that you can break this cycle right now. There is a simple and powerful method to consciously activate your potential and start manifesting results naturally. And that's exactly what we are going to see now. Consciously activating your freedom is much simpler than it seems. It doesn't require advanced degrees or institutional approval. The true secret lies within you: clear intention, elevated emotion, and an open heart. The first step is to align your thoughts and your feelings. The mind sets the intention. The heart fuels the passion. Without true emotion, thought is just a whisper in the noise of doubt. When both are in harmony, you create a powerful frequency capable of breaking any barrier of fear and limitation. The ideal is to visualize not just what you want, but to feel as if it has already happened. This is the code your soul understands. Vibration, not validation. Visualize your dream in rich detail. But more importantly, dive into the emotion of fulfillment. Then let go. Surrender completely. The universe responds to courage, not anxiety. Trust that, just like a seed breaks through soil to reach the sun, your potential is already organizing the resources, people, and opportunities to bring your vision to life. An extra secret: practice self-reflection every day, even for just a few minutes. Quick journaling sessions, heartfelt affirmations, and mindful breathing exercises create an energetic reprogramming that expands your field and strengthens your conscious connection to your purpose. But be prepared, because once you activate this force, your reality will begin to change so quickly and unexpectedly that it might even seem scary. There is a point of no return on the journey of self-discovery. When you understand, not just intellectually but feel in every cell, that you are not defined by the system, something profound happens. You become the conscious creator of your own path. But once you understand the power of your own mind, you can no longer blame the curriculum, the teachers, or society. You realize that every thought, every choice, every act of resistance is an active piece in the great puzzle of your life. This can be frightening at first because it pulls you out of the comfort zone of victimhood. But it is also liberating because it places the key to transformation in your hands. Neuroscientist Dr. Lisa Feldman Barrett suggests that our brains are not fixed by education, but are plastic, capable of rewiring themselves through new experiences and beliefs. If this is true, and mounting evidence suggests it is, then every choice you make carries an incalculable creative power. Imagine knowing that by thinking with courage, you are literally shaping invisible patterns that will bring more freedom into your life. Imagine realizing that by accepting fear, you are tuning into realities where limitation reigns. It's not theory, it's daily practice. And the more you apply this knowledge, the faster reality responds. Doors that once seemed locked open. The mentors you need appear. The impossible begins to seem possible. All around the world, thousands of people have already experienced the power of trusting their own path, and their stories are living proof that something extraordinary happens when you break free from the system's grip. One such story is Maria's, an ordinary student who, after years of struggling with low grades and self-doubt, decided to change her approach. Inspired by thinkers like Robinson and Freire, she began dedicating time each day to pursuing her passion for art, feeling confidence as if she were already a successful creator. In just 6 months, without changing her academic path, she was discovered by a local gallery and launched a career that transformed her life. Another case is Jamal's, who was told he'd never succeed because of his unconventional ideas. Instead of surrendering to fear, he chose to trust the power of his vision, entangled with a field of possibility. He visualized daily his ideas being embraced, sending gratitude to the universe for his unique gifts. Without any apparent external help, his project went viral, attracting investors and opportunities he never imagined. And then there were countless reports of improbable breakthroughs, career shifts, and life changes, always after the person aligned mind and heart to the feeling of trust in their own worth. These miracles are not exceptions. They are the natural manifestation of a human being who remembers who they really are, a co-creator of reality, not a product of the system. Now it's your turn to practically experience the power of breaking free. This exercise is simple but carries immense transformative power. And the more you practice, the deeper your alignment with your true potential will be. Start by finding a quiet place. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your heart. Breathe slowly and deeply, as if you were filling your chest with golden light. Then, evoke a feeling of confidence. Don't think, feel. Remember a moment when you felt truly proud of yourself, even if it's something small. Let that emotion grow within you. Now, visualize a sphere of light expanding from your heart. Imagine this light connecting you to everything. Your dreams, your passions, the people who inspire you, the world that needs your gifts. See the threads of light entangling you with the entire field of possibility. While maintaining this vision, clearly visualize a specific intention, something you wish to create or transform in your life. See this intention moving through the network of light, traveling without limits through the universe. And here's the most important step. Let go. Surrender this intention to the field with absolute trust. Feel that it is already accomplished. Feel as if the universe is conspiring in your favor at this very moment. Remain in the state of confidence and connection for a few minutes. Then open your eyes and go about your day, paying attention to the synchronicities that will begin to appear. This simple exercise reprograms your frequency and activates your conscious participation in the creation of your own path. As you live your routine, studying, working, dreaming, an invisible network of connections is forming around you, silently. These invisible entanglements are like pathways of potential, shaping your journey even if you don't realize it. A moment of self-doubt, for example, can create a thread of connection to other experiences of failure yet to come. A genuine act of courage, on the other hand, can entangle you with unexpected opportunities for growth and success. Critical theory, through its critique of institutions, teaches us that nothing happens in isolation. Everything you emanate returns to you, amplified. That's why small acts of resistance, seemingly harmless, have a colossal impact on your future. We all carry invisible marks in our energy field. Memories of rejection, limiting beliefs, unresolved fears. These blockages act like chains that prevent the natural flow of your potential in your life. The first step to clearing these blockages is conscious self-awareness. Set aside a few minutes every day to ask yourself, what belief am I carrying right now? Naming the belief is already the beginning of transformation. The second step is to use breathing as a tool for release. Inhale deeply while imagining you are pulling light into yourself. Exhale, visualizing old doubts leaving like dark clouds, dissolving into the air. Conscious breathing immediately changes your vibrational state, and the third step is intentional replacement. After releasing dense beliefs, fill your field with elevated feelings, confidence, curiosity, purpose. This energetically seals your field, preventing old limitations from returning. You don't need to fix your entire past. You just need to elevate your energy in the now, because it is in the now that your future is being shaped. While your mind is conditioned, your spirit travels. In moments of quiet, in dreams, in flashes of inspiration, you leave behind the limitations of the system and dive directly into the field of possibility, where everything is connected. It is in this state that you often receive insights, ideas, and solutions coming from subtle dimensions. Carl Jung stated that the unconscious is a bridge between the personal and the collective, the vast network of wisdom that connects all human potential. And today, with what psychology and neuroscience reveal about intuition, we understand that this connection is even deeper and more real. Many of your insights are not just random thoughts. They are forms of direct communication with your higher self. They bring visions, feelings, and epiphanies that can guide your conscious choices in the waking world. If you want to accelerate your connection to your true path, start recording your ideas, your intuitions, your dreams. Often, they carry the answers you are looking for, even before you ask the question. The Visualization Code: How to Send Clear Messages to Your Potential. Visualization is not just about imagining a better future in your mind. When done correctly, visualization is about encoding information into the field of possibility, like setting an intention that unlocks new realities. The most common mistake people make is visualizing half-heartedly, thinking about what they want for a few seconds but without emotion, without clarity, without true presence. The field of potential does not respond to weak signals. It responds to strong and consistent vibrational commands. Here is the true code of visualization. First, engage all your senses. Don't just see what you want. Feel the environment, hear the sounds, touch the textures of your dream life. The more sensory your visualization, the more real it becomes for your mind and, consequently, for the universe. Second, charge the scene with an elevated emotion. Emotion is the fuel that brings the mental image to life. Feel joy, purpose, freedom, as if the desire were already real. Now, third, maintain focus long enough. Studies show that it takes at least 68 seconds of focused attention to create an energetic momentum strong enough to influence your reality. And, lastly, let go. Release the need to control the how and trust that the universe, infinitely more intelligent than any institution, will organize the means. When you visualize this way, you're not just dreaming. You're emitting clear commands to the fabric of your destiny, and the universe always responds. In the vast and mysterious field of human potential, there are no isolated actions. Every thought, every choice, every small act of rebellion generates a wave of energy that travels beyond time and space, touching and transforming realities you can't even imagine. Most people believe that only big achievements create big changes. But systems theory shows that in complex networks, small initial shifts can cause monumental effects, the so-called butterfly effect. In 1972, chaos theorist Edward Lorenz demonstrated that a minor change, like a flap of a butterfly's wings, could alter weather patterns weeks later. At the level of your life, the same thing happens. A simple shift in belief or intention creates a cascade of new possible futures. To illustrate this, imagine the story of Aisha, a young woman who, despite facing academic pressure, decided to adopt a small daily ritual. Every morning, she dedicated 5 minutes to visualizing her life guided by passion and purpose. Nothing more. No grand plans, no excessive effort. Weeks later, without warning, she stumbled upon a mentor who recognized her talent and offered her a chance to pursue her true calling. Her silent vibration had reactivated invisible connections. This is the power of the personal domino effect. A small action aligned with your heart has the capacity to reorganize your entire reality. The question is, what small shifts are you making today? Because even the smallest one can trigger the greatest transformation of your life. You don't have to wait for permission or the perfect opportunity. You just need to align your daily choices with your greater vision. The universe will take care of the rest. Because in the field of potential, nothing is small. Everything is sacred. Everything is powerful. Now you know. Something extraordinary happens when you trust your own path. You discover that you are not a broken product of the system, but a conscious navigator of infinite possibilities. Albert Einstein once said, "Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school." Today, you understand that this wisdom can be reclaimed, transformed, and recreated, not by conformity, but by courage, by intention, and by deep trust in yourself. You are not separated from your potential. You are not limited by any grade or label. You are living energy, creative consciousness, part of a cosmic network that responds to your internal choices. Now, the decision is in your hands. Will you continue living as if you were defined by the system? Or will you rise up and consciously create the life you were born to live? If this journey touched your heart, comment below, "I am the creator of my own path." Share this message with someone who needs to remember their power. Subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and let's expand this wave of awakening and transformation together. What will you choose to create from now on? Because in the invisible game of life, those who awaken